Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It is 7. Yes, it is 7. I like to start on time. 7 o'clock on the dot, making sure I'm here for you. I almost had a technical difficulty. All of a sudden, my computer froze. I'm just like, no. So it took like 10 minutes to get it back going. But then I have my backup computer, just in case if whatever goes wrong. So I had that one ready just in case. And then there's always the phone. Even though I don't like using the cell phone for Facebook Lives, if you have to, you have to. Sometimes you just have to because sometimes technology fails. Okay. So thank you for joining me. And if any of you have not joined me before for one of my Facebook Lives, I am Kathy Michelle, and I coach enthusiastic entrepreneurs on how they can use their skills and knowledge that they already have and mix that up with some savvy business skills so they can create a side hustle business. And that should bring in additional streams of income. Okay, so that you can retire early or buy that house you always want or get some money for your kids' tuition, whatever it is. So I created this business to give you some support and help and provide you with services that you might need to create your side hustle business. So thank you for joining me. So today's title is, I want you to think, well, today's title is, what you really, want to know about being a self-published author. So that's one thing. And I just want to make sure everybody has, any questions or anything that they might have. Today's title is, what you really, want to know about being a self. Okay. I see my sound works. So checking my sound as we're going on. But any questions that you might have, that's burning questions you might have about it. So I just want to pop on this week just to get an idea of what you might need or want if you want to become an author. Okay. So I am sharing this out. Let me share this out to a couple of the groups to make sure they know I am live. And as you're joining, please pop in the comments and say hello and let me know that you're watching. Okay, I'm going to share this out to my group. Okay, got that done. And yes, I think we got everything. Oh, let me share this out to my regular page. Normally I don't share on my personal page only because not everybody wants to go into business or things like that. So I usually don't share on my personal page, but maybe not. Yeah, I think I will go ahead and share this one out to my personal page. All right. So, like I said, as you come in, please say hello. Let me know that you are here. And if you're watching from somewhere else other than Los Angeles, where I am, feel free to say, hey, where you're watching from and all that good stuff. All right, so I'm just going to check one more spot to make sure I am showing up so that everybody can tune in to the broadcast. All right, I think we're good. All righty. So you want to learn to create and self-publish and sell an ebook, right? That's something I think a lot of people want to do. They want to be an author. And at least that's how I got started with the whole thing. I just always had this kind of bucket list thing in the back of my mind, like, I want to be, an author. I kind of want that title of, okay, yes, I'm a teacher, I'm an educator now, I'm this, and I want that title added on to my list of, accomplishments. So it was just one of those things I was like, let me see if I can write a book. And that's how it kind of started for me. As you know about, well, some of you who don't know, but I had a business about 11 years ago. My sister and I, we had a cooking school for kids. And once we finished that business, I started journaling, just your basic, one of these old school, little journal books and stuff. And I just started kind of journaling about the process we went through with that. And so after a while, I was like, wow, this is like turning into, a lot of pages. And this is turning into like more like steps and things like that. So I was like, wow, if I write all the steps down to start this business that we just finished, I wonder if I can publish it into a book and sell it. I just had no idea if anybody would be interested in it or what. So I was like, well, what can it hurt to just try it and see what happens, So that's exactly what I did. It took me forever because it wasn't my high priority kind of thing. It was just like, okay, I'm gonna write a little bit today. Oh, okay, let me write this next step and let me do some research. And some people might need to know about this law here. So I was kind of researching and writing at the same time, and then kind of going back into my business files of the things that we did with the business and, plugging things in. Oh, this is how you do birthday parties. Oh, this is how you do workshops. So it was a long process because I was kind of doing the research and writing at the same time. So, it took me about almost a year and a half to finally just like, okay, I have a manuscript, it's just like, this is it. I've read, this is it. I'm not going to add anything else to it. I'm just going to let it be. Because you start getting, nitpicky with yourself when you write a book. You're like, oh no, I need to change this font to this, or I need to add on another page. It's not long enough. Nobody's going to want this short, small book. And I was trying to add on these pages and things like that. And so finally, after I had kind of just like exhausted myself of trying to do all these things with my book, I was like, okay, I'm ready. This is the year I'm going to actually publish it. Now, I didn't have any experience writing a book or publishing a book, so I didn't even understand the whole process of, okay, traditionally publishing, you got to go find a publisher. They have to accept your book, because they could say, no, we don't want to publish your book. Bye, so they can either, accept or not accept. They can choose to publish it pretty much whenever they want. So it might be, 3 months, 6 months, a year. It's up to them. It's kind of like in their hands. So once I start reading up about traditional publishing, I was like, wow, I don't know if I want to go the traditional publishing route way, and then when I really got into it and start seeing the money that you get from your books that sell, and I wasn't feeling it. I was like, wait a minute, I put my heart and soul into this book, and this is how much I'm getting, basically it was $1 and some change off of each book, and they're getting everything else. The traditional, publishing, they get everything else because they are basically promoting the book for you. They are, printing it. They're the ones who are, pushing it into stores, whether it be just a mom and pop or a Barnes and Noble or whatever. They are doing your whole marketing. They take care of everything. That's the upfront thing. So I like that part because I didn't know anything about marketing and promoting anything. So I was like, I like that part. But when I looked at the math, I was like, I don't think I like how they get so much of your money. And it kind of made me think back. I don't know if you guys seen this, some documentary, it was on TLC, about how, I think it was Left Eye. It was a Left Eye explaining how they were broke, after having, these top selling singles and albums and all this stuff. And they was like, well, we were broke afterwards because so many people were taking the money, their part of it, that they were left with like, oh, we're only getting 3 cents, a copy kind of thing. it's the same kind of thing with traditional book publishing. At least that's what I read about in it. I don't, maybe it's changed in the last few years. I don't know. But it's one of those things where I didn't like that the publishers had a bigger piece of the pot than the person who actually wrote the book. And then they also can tweak the book if they say, oh, we don't like chapter 5, we want to take that out, or we want you to add the so and the cover, and all, they have input into all that because it's their money. You're using their money to basically promote your book. So I was like, maybe not. So then I looked into self-publishing. I'm like, what is this self-publishing thing? And so the more and more I looked into that, I was like, wait a minute. I can make like 70% off of my books versus, a few dollars. So I'm like, wait a minute. I can set my own price of my book. Okay. And I can publish it any way I want with whatever cover I want, and nobody can tell me what I can and cannot do with this book. I was like, hold up. I'm going to self-publish my book. So I took I don't know how I found this course, but I took a real simple book. It was this author who had written maybe like 3 books or something, and she was having a workshop, sister lady. I forgot her name. I think her name was Sabila. It was a different kind of name. I think her name was Sabila. And she was just having a little workshop over there off in Inglewood, and you pay your little, I think it was like $40 or something like that. You pay your money, and she basically tells you all about, how she went through the process of, having her books published and stuff. So after, I got the information from her and went through her, it was just literally like a half a day workshop, no more than I think 2 hours or so. And that really helped me to understand the behind the scenes part of, publishing and, self-publishing and all that stuff that goes into it. So after I had that knowledge and I finally had my manuscript ready to publish, whether I do traditional or self-publishing, it was ready. So I was like, okay, I'm going to try my hand at self-publishing. Okay. So, oh my gosh, it was so simple. I couldn't believe how simple it was. It was literally like, okay, click here, click here, click here. Your book is published. I was just mesmerized at how the process was so simple. Okay. Now it did take, there are steps to it. Okay. Whereas step 1, do this, step 2, do that. So, it takes a while for me to process, this step kind of thing, so it might have taken me, I don't know, maybe a week to understand, I need to format the book this way before I can, put a cover on there. I didn't realize the cover was uploaded separate from the actual manuscript. So it was just certain little things here and there. I was like, oh, okay. So it was kind of trial and error of, I got to do this first and then this and this. But once I figured it out, I was like, OMG. And I was kind of hooked. I was like, oh, I got to publish some more books. This is so eye-opening that I was like, I got to publish some more. But, I took a little while. I was like, well, let me just see how this first book, went. And before I knew it, there were people buying my book. Okay. I was in shock. This is the book. I'm going to take this little sticky thing off. Okay. So this is the book. My first book, Make Money Teaching Cooking Classes. This shows you, step by step of what we did to open our business. And there were people that were buying my book. It wasn't 100 people, but it was just I didn't think one person was going to buy my book. I was just like, what? People? What? People want to read my book? mean, and the wonderful thing about Amazon, that's where I sell my books, on Amazon. It's not the only place you can sell them, but that's like, of course, Amazon is the biggest, place to sell stuff. And the wonderful thing about Amazon is you can see like if someone bought it in the US or China or, Germany, wherever, because you can, just, it's like a list to show, okay, one person bought your book from here. Well, so when I looked, I was like, there was somebody from China that bought my book. Who would have thought? There was another lady, and it's weird because we're Facebook friends now. Another lady from France who bought my book. And then evidently she must have Googled me or, searched me on Facebook, found me, instant messaged me. Hey, Stephen, instant messaged me. And she was asking some questions about the book. And, and I answered her questions. Oh, hey, let me know if you have any other questions, kind of thing. And then she requested me as a Facebook friend. So, so we're Facebook friends for the last, year and a half. But it's just crazy. You just never know what people are looking for. You never know what people want. So you don't know what people want unless you put it out there, I didn't know someone in China and someone in France who want to learn how to open up a cooking school for kids. Had no idea. So don't underestimate yourself thinking, oh, my idea it's not a good idea, or, I don't think I know enough information to write this book, or I'm only going to, do this, for myself. I'm not going to publish it. I've heard a lot of people like, yeah, I wrote a book, but I didn't publish it. So they're just kind of been sitting on it, just like, publish the book. But it's kind of like, it's kind of like, I don't know, taking a picture of yourself. Some people are kind of like love selfies, and, this is the age of kids and stuff. They're always taking selfies, always, But, us older folks, we might not be inclined to take so many pictures of ourselves. We're more like, hold up, we got to be all perfect before we take a, selfie and post it somewhere. I think that's the same mentality when it comes to publishing a book. You're kind of afraid of what people are going to say, afraid of what people are going to think. You're scared nobody's going to buy it. You're just thinking, oh, I'm not an expert, so how can I write a book on it? You don't have to be, considered the expert of the world to write a book. I mean, come on. How many people on the top best-selling book list are experts? Most people are just regular folk, okay, who decided to take a leap of faith and go on and publish the manuscript that they had, So you got to get past all those, self-sabotaging kind of things and let yourself go to publish a book, okay? So a lot of people have, kind of asked me questions about it, showed interest in it. I did a poll in my Side Hustle Circle private Facebook group, and this was one of the ones that a lot of people were asking me questions about, or they answered on the poll that they were interested into it. So I was like, okay, let me, do a Facebook Live to see, what the temperature is, to see, where everyone's thinking in terms of, okay, questions about being a self-published author. And remember, if you have any questions, put it in the comments box. Even if you're watching the replay, you can always put it in there, and I'll check the stream of questions later. But yeah, it's not a scary thing, because as soon as after I did my first book, it was just like this relief, like, whew, I did it, okay? And then when it was time for me to do my second book, which was this one, this is my second book? Yeah, this is my second book, which is a workbook, okay? So this one is a workbook that goes with the first one, because I felt like, the information here, is text, and reading and information. But when you really want to implement kind of thing, you need some other kind of tools to write things down and plan it out. So This one is a mix of information and planner type thing. So it's kind of plans out each chapter and gives you space to write the information for each chapter about the process of opening a cooking school for kids. So that's why I was like, always a teacher, thinking in the teacher mind, like there's always, a story and then there's a workbook, or there's always a textbook and a student workbook. So I was just like, oh, they need a workbook kind of thing. So I did that. And then, it was like, all of a sudden I was just like, okay, I need a book on this, because I was doing, I did a teen entrepreneur workshop. I needed a workbooks for that. And I was like, okay, I'm going to upload this to Amazon and have that book on there. And then I had my aunt was having a retirement party. And I was like, okay, I'm going to create a retirement journal. So it's so contagious. Once you get past of all that fear of, I don't know if I want to publish a book. What does it cost? Once you get past all that, you will start spitting out books like that. Literally, like within a weekend, you can spit out a book, if you got the time. I just have some time sometimes just to sit down and write things out. But really, you could probably, I would say, knock it out between 5 to 7 days. If let's say you devote an hour or two each day, like, okay, I'm going to work on my book today, work on my book. By the end of those 7 days, you should have a manuscript. And remember, it does not need to be 500 pages. Hey, Carrie, your manuscript does not need to be 500 pages. I think your best bet is to go on Amazon, see what the top selling book is for. Maybe you have a business idea. Let's say you want to write a book on, I don't know, how about keto? That's like the newest thing, keto, health stuff. Go on Amazon and put in keto health stuff. See what book pops up. Check how many pages that book is. Okay, check and see how much they're charging for it. Okay, you'll see most of those books are probably about 50 pages, especially depending on the topic or the niche. They're not 500-page books. Okay, could you write 50 pages in a week? Yeah, you could. Okay, if you did like, say, 5 pages here, 5 pages there, 10 pages on a Saturday or something, you could. Okay, and mind you, like my workbook, it's not all text. Like I have some fill in the blank. So this is kind of content and no content. So some of it is content and some of it is no content. We call those no content books because some of it is fill in the blank. So it totally depends on the kind of book you're doing. Maybe you're doing a recipe book. Does it take, a month to write a recipe book? No, does not. It's just a process of, okay, putting the recipe into your computer or whatever it is you're doing, just typing it up. Or I'll tell you about it in this. I was just about to say something, but Google has this this microphone in your Google, what do you call that? Google Docs. When you go to Google Docs, there's a little microphone. Hey, Lisa, there's a little microphone in there, and you can speak into the microphone on your computer, and it types it out for you. Okay? So you don't even have to be a slave to your computer typing it out. You can just do the Google microphone, and it'll type it out for you. Yeah, you might have to go back and make sure you have commas and, the correct punctuation here or capital letter here, but it's super simple, okay? And I also know this other, it's kind of an app or platform that will transcribe what, let's say, a video, like this Facebook Live. If I want to have it transcribed into a manuscript, I can. And I can turn that into a book. You just get all your stuff, or I could turn all my Facebook Lives into a manuscript and then turn it into a book. Upload it to Amazon, and now I have another book, okay? So all these little tricks and things I want to teach you, okay? So when I noticed that there was an interest in becoming a self-published author, I put together an offer for you guys so that you will stop procrastinating and start doing. Yes. So if you're interested in getting instant credibility, because, as soon as you hear, oh, somebody has a book, people's expectations change, whether it's for your career that you have, your job that you have right now, or whatever your business is, or whatever your business might be. People give a little bit more credibility to you when you say, I'm an author. People want to book you for speaking events if you're an author. People want you to do workshops if you're an author. Teach courses if you're an author. So a book really kind of opens up the doors to so many avenues of making additional streams of income, because that's what I'm all about. When you are credible by saying, hey, I'm an author. So if you want that instant credibility with your career or your business, I'm going to offer you this course, okay? So it's an introductory course. The price is $35. Hey, Stephanie, the price is $35. I'm going to put the link in there as soon as I finish. And you'll get 5 to 7. I'm saying 5 to 7, just kind of depending on how long I think the group goes. Some people, might have more questions a Facebook Live might take longer, just depending on what we're talking about that day. Or if I do a screen share tutorial, that might take longer. So I'm saying 5 to 7 training videos, okay? So it'll be a Facebook group. It won't be the Side Hustle Circle group, because those are not paying for any courses. That group is free. So I'll open up a new group just for paid customers who are taking the course. So you'll get 5 to 7 training videos in that Facebook group. You'll get 2, maybe 3 screen shares of the platforms that I use, which are Canva and Amazon KDP, okay? And I'll show you exactly how I upload everything, exactly how I create the ebooks, that kind of thing. You'll get worksheets so you can take action, to create your ebooks. And once the whole course is finished, you'll have lifetime access to the course, because I'll upload everything on Teachable. And Teachable is an awesome platform if you ever want to create online classes. I love it, because just like with this, all I do is download the videos, upload them to Teachable, and then the course is there for a lifetime access. Once, your students pay for it, they have a lifetime access to it, and they can go back and replay and, that kind of thing, okay? So if this is the month, you could have a book this month. When I tell you that it will probably take you no more than 7 days to create your first ebook, okay? And you could have your book published this month. Okay, so then you can start saying, wow, okay, I'm an author. You can bring in this little extra of streams of income. Now this is passive income, okay? Let's be clear, this is passive income. For those of you who are unfamiliar with the word passive, meaning you're not making $100 a day. Hey, Roosevelt, you're not making $100 a day unless you are out there promoting. We'll go into that if you get in the course. But like for me, writing books are more of a hobby, okay? Like I said, it started off with just kind of therapeutic journaling, and then I turned it into a book. It wasn't like I was gonna, publish this book and quit my job. That's not what it's about. It's about just expressing yourself. It's a wonderful feeling that you get when you learn to express yourself and then share it with the world, and people buy it. It's an awesome feeling. You feel very validated that someone is interested in learning about something that you might have an expertise in, or that you just enjoy. It could be a hobby or what have you, okay? So I'm telling you, It's going to be an awesome course. You will have your ebook. I'll tell you everything about book covers, all that wonderful stuff in the course. So if you have been thinking about this for the last year, 2 years, 10 years, whatever, now's the time to get into this course so you can have an ebook by the end of the month. Okay, so I want to be able to go to Amazon, click on your book, buy it, and give you a awesome, feedback for your book. I want you to see the results of, hey, I can do it. I can be an author. Doesn't take 100 pages. Doesn't take 5 years. Okay, for me, it took a little while for the first one, but after that first one, weekend, done, one book. Another weekend, done, another book. It's just that simple, okay? So if you have any questions, put it in the comments. I will come back and check and answer your comments. I am going to put the link into the comments so that those of you who are ready to get signed up, I'm going to start the course on April 14th, okay? So I'm giving everybody, about a week or so to figure out what they want to do, okay? But April 14th, we are starting the course because I want you to have your ebook by the end of the month, okay? So I will put the link in the comments box shortly as soon as I end this video. Sign up. You pay for the course, it's $35. That's an introductory price, okay? So it won't stay $35 after that, the class is over. The price will go up. So this is an introductory course. And if you don't have any other questions or comments, I want to thank you for joining me from my Facebook Live. And I hope to all see you in the course. If you have any other questions, you can instant message me on Facebook or send me an email, however you need to send it, and I will get that to you as soon as possible. All right, you guys, enjoy the rest of your evening. Okay, bye.